Here is a poem by William Blake. William Blake lived from 1757 to 1827. A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles, and with soft deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. In fact, here at STARCARD Podcast, we're getting a good gander at the age of Aquarius, which we have entered. My name is Breakaway Ray, and I got a lot of things on my mind and some things I want to get off my chest. I invite everyone to pay attention to whatever they're paying attention to. This is the Anti-Revenge Show. This is a live tarot throw that you've tuned into. Today is October 22nd, 2025. And to start off the show, I've got 4 cards for you. 2 you can have right now, and 2 you can take to go. Let's go to the tarot cam. Number 1, we get, oh, yay, nice. I was just welcoming everyone to STARCARD Podcast in the chat. And look, it's the 4 of Wands. It's the homecoming card. I think I see those people in the chat all like dancing around in a circle, talking to each other there. That's great. Have a good time, everybody. But then also for now, we get the 4 of Cups card. The universe has given us everything. Let's remember to be grateful for all of it, even the stuff that we don't see, even the stuff that we don't understand. Why did we have these trials and obstacles in our life? Why was that necessary? Well, it made us change our energy, didn't it? So that's what we came for. So let's be grateful for all the challenges. They don't happen to us. They happen for us. Well, very nice. Well done, Tarot World. Okay, and now 2 cards to go. Oh, nice. It's the 2 of Cups, everybody. We're communicating. There's communication, but it's communication connected through the divine. And here at STARCARD Podcast, myself, Breakaway Ray, I'm saying this is a direct message from the Tarot World. The Tarot World is talking to us. So what are we going to take away with us? What do you want us to take away with us? Oh my goodness, it's the Lover's card. It's the other card wherein I say it's another message from the universe, the Tarot World speaking directly to us. That is quite a coincidence. It's a double message that we're speaking to the spirit world. And the spirit world is all around us and loves us. This is the Anti-Revenge Show, so say I. So let's all remember that God loves us, the universe loves us. Source loves us and provides for us, and we can communicate with it anytime. I mean, we can make it easier if we get a set of magical tarot cards like this, right? Well, thank you very much, Tarot World. I am invigorated. I am filled with hope. I am rejuvenated. I feel just like a star card. Let's get these cards a shuffle, and then I'm going to cut loose with some pumpkin problems. Here we go. Let's toss these. Wow, that was a special throw. So I was picking out that William Blake poem earlier, the William Blake poem, A Poison Tree, because I remembered it was about revenge. And the bottom line is revenge only hurts the people getting the revenge, right? You know, they're the ones investing that energy to get revenge, to seek revenge, to get payback somehow. So I remember that poem. Because I was an English lit major. I still had the textbook. It's over there. I'm not going to show it to you right now. But I have a whole book on 18th century literature. Don't I sound like a fascinating, interesting person? I'm studying, literature from the 1700s. I was looking for Alexander Pope, but I came across William Blake in the same century and The Poison Tree. And then by the time I finished reading the poem called A Poison Tree, I was delighted. It's a wonderful, fun poem. But then I realized it's not an anti-revenge poem, is it? It talks about how someone sought and grew revenge, and eventually the trap was sprung and his foe was taken down, as it were. So anyway, I want to focus on not getting revenge. I want to remind everyone, in case you don't know, there was a famous 20th century diplomat from South Africa, Bishop Desmond Tutu, and he was around when apartheid broke down in South Africa. And now you could take a look at that society, and I know very little about it, I'll be honest. But what I do know is that a part of the population had control of everything while the majority of the population did not. And the idea was to balance things out. And in order to do that, we had to bring the people who owned everything and ran everything, and by hook or by crook kept it that way for a long time. Okay, it's time to ask them to come out and testify, but more or less tell everybody what happened, tell everyone what the real history was, so everyone can, reallocate their attention and, of course, the resources to make things fairer in that country. So here at STARCARD Podcast, I'm like banging the table about hidden knowledge. I'm going to talk about some of those things that trouble me. But then, of course, whether all that stuff gets revealed to us and shared with us or given back to us, there's still the matter of revenge. And I'm of the mind that revenge doesn't work. Revenge only hurts the person that's seeking revenge. So that's why that William Blake poem looks like fiction to me. Revenge is the monkey's paw. It always backfires, doesn't it? You're putting down some extra energy on one side of the seesaw. There's got to be a balance, whether it's in this lifetime or the next one, right? Well, if you want to get off the wheel of karma, okay, you need to not think about revenge, but you need to think about, why was this introduced to me? What was I supposed to learn from this lesson? All right, so let's go back down to the tarot cam, take a look at the table. I got some problem pumpkins I want to talk about. Thanks a lot, everybody. So first of all, one of the things that bothers me is something called planned obsolescence. It's something you associate with a throwaway society. We make things and then they break down and then we throw them out. Then we got lots of stuff in our landfills and our trash dumps, and we constantly have to go to work to make more money to buy more stuff, right? Throwaway society. That's kind of new. It's a newfangled thing. I mean, I'm saying, at least as far as, the industrial age, it works with the industrial age. Okay. Next up, something else that bothers me, fenced commons. Now, when you're fencing something, not something I understand a lot, didn't look it up, but fencing is when you have property that is stolen and you sell it. And the commons is such a vague term nowadays. We don't learn about commons in school at all, okay? But the commons are all the things that belong to all of us, like air and water and, frankly, energy, and transportation would be included if you want to go all the way back to the advanced civilization that was here before us. But here we have fenced commons here in the year 2025. We're paying ransom for what belonged to us. I'm going to start right with electricity. Okay. You can take your two inventors, Nikola Tesla versus Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said, hey, everyone needs to pay me for this. And Nikola Tesla was saying, it's free, one-time expense, maybe some maintenance and repair. But, we're not going to steal this from the rest of humanity just to enrich ourselves. And we can see how that contest went down. That's just one example. Okay, so fenced commons. Okay, hijacked technology and brain drains. Now, when I talk about hijacked technology, you could go into today's description and you could see I've got a whole list of links to videos that talk about some of the things that are on my mind, including a show called Cosmic Brilliance, where there's a very dedicated former newsman. I think it's Dan Willis, and he tells a whole story about our
our hidden technology. As soon as something gets good, they take it away, they pretend it never existed, and then they find a way to militarize it or charge people for it. And I could go through a bunch of those. That would be like weather technology, the free energy technology that I already mentioned, the transportation, the rails and the trolleys that were around and had to be dug up and redone and commandeered by the railroad barons, etc. Okay. And then also there's this thing called brain drains where, as soon as people get too smart, all of a sudden, they have a death story and we never hear from them again. But there are secret space program experiencers who testify that a lot of these people are actually out in space doing their thing. They got too smart. They're smart enough to join the off-world team. Gee, I'm not done. I hope I got enough room for all these pumpkins. How about perpetual pollution? I want to give a shout out to all the people of Flint, Michigan. I'm sorry that they still have a huge problem out there. I mean, there were some irresponsible people who got that thing started. But you know what? Even in here in Southern California, we get water from our source, and it's been contaminated by rocket fuel chemicals. It's called perchlorate, Perchlorate. How about that? I pulled that one out after 20 years. But we know that stuff is out there, and it's in our water supply, but we can't do nothing about it. Okay, but you know what? There's a lot of other pollutants in our foods and our surroundings, our clothing. So we got a lot of perpetual pollution going on, and a lot of that is done by other humans. I mean, it's not Mother Earth saying, here, you can drink this perchlorate in your water. It's other humans that do this. And I'm going to put this down a second. So there's this thing in the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta was drafted, I believe, in the 1200s, and it talks about basic rights. And one of the rights that humans have is not to be polluted by other humans who are profiting by whatever process that's creating that pollution. So if someone's polluting and making money off of it, that's not cool. That sounds like a normal thing, right? That sounds like it makes sense. But they actually had to put that in the Magna Carta 800 years ago to make sure everyone knew that that's not cool. Here in the United States, we could be pointing the fingers at Superfund sites and more and use the Magna Carta to back ourselves up, but I don't think that's happening right now. Let's go back downstairs. I got more pumpkins. Yeah, this is the anti-revenge show, Breakaway Ray. You got a lot you care about here. How about compartmentalized cosmos and consciousness? We don't need to tell the people on Earth's surface that, there is an off-world and everyone's doing it and it's part of the universe. They can go on believing that they're the only people in the universe. God only created them, and there's only one thing to do, and that's go to work and make money. And also, we don't want humans to explore their consciousness and figure this out for themselves. That's why Giordano Bruno had to go. That's why Stanley Meyer, the inventor of the water-powered vehicle, had to go. Okay. Anyone who's exploring their consciousness, well, we need them in the programs. We need them with their super psionic abilities. What about that guy, Breakaway Ray, and his tarot cards? Can we use that guy in space? I hope I don't get conscripted. Anyway, what else am I talking about? Yeah, beyond programming, I mean, you could check the guide on your television, but beyond programming, it's mind control. Both the content of the shows and even signals that are not related to the show at all. And a lot of these things are broadcast wherever we go, wherever these radio waves are. Well, that's a short list. Happy Halloween. How do you like them pumpkins? Well, let's say, for example, that all these things get revealed and people know better what's going on. Well, this is almost like a tarot card throw here. Right in the middle, if we have compartmentalized cosmos and consciousness and we overcome it, okay, then we can see through the bogus planned obsolescence. I love the idea of leasing a car, perpetually paying for a new car. That's real obsolescence, throwing away money for sure. I mean, you could pay for a car one time and then keep it going. Ask people in Cuba. They know how it works. Okay. Fenced commons. We can see through that. And then we can hold people accountable for doing this and also for polluting it. Where's that pollution? And for hijacking those technologies. It's time to integrate them with the people on Earth's surface. And you know what? We all need to pay attention to the mind control. We all need to pay attention to what we're paying attention to, because if we don't, someone else is going to direct where our mind is paying attention. So let's put these pumpkins away.
So after all that, after getting all riled up like that, this is the anti-revenge show. And we're not going to get revenge on all these people. Some of these people, they would say, or they would have the perspective, we had no choice. It's like the Manhattan Project. Everything was compartmentalized. Nobody knew what they were doing, and they couldn't back out of it now. They had wives and families, and they had to stay to their job, even if they had to compromise their ethics a little bit. So we really have to show some forgiveness. We have to let people speak their truth. That's what's going to help them clean themselves of their karma. And then, once everyone's lifted up, once their vibration's all lifted up, we're all going to fit together more harmoniously. But we're never going to get to that point unless we let people speak and we show mercy. And if we want to see the change, we have to change the way we see things first. So we're going to go down to the tarot cam, and we're going to ask the tarot world to comment on holding people accountable. So, because from what I hear, a lot of these people that have been doing this, they're never going to be held accountable. That might bother someone like me. Other people would say, yo, Breakaway Ray, that's how you play the game. Whoever gets away with the most gets away with the most. That's not going to work for humanity as a whole, I say. So I'm going to be on the other end of the spectrum saying, let's be considered empathic, and we're stronger together. So let's forgive, not forget, and move on forward together. This is the anti-revenge show. So I'm inviting the tarot world to give us a good message about all those pumpkins that I had a problem with. And maybe you'd like to tell us a way that we can remember to be calm and cool and not revengeful. We're going to burn ourselves out trying to get revenge for everything. All right. Hey, tarot world, you can help me. I want to deliver your messages. I want to reveal hidden information. I want humanity to move forward. How important is revenge and accountability? Accountability, that's aseptic. That's neither here nor there. That's the justice card, cause and effect and balance. Well, those people who are doing that, if they can't balance out this time, next life, next time around, they'll get their chance. It may not be on planet Earth. I understand that there are other places that they can go now to balance that out, but Earth is not going to be the place where you balance your karma. Earth is not going to be holding up that kind of system anymore, not playing that game anymore. So we don't have to get revenge. Those people are going to get it sorted out in their next lifetimes. Wow, I'm getting a little tarot explosion over here. We're going to sort that out in a minute. We're still throwing these cards here. All right, so meanwhile, we're going to move forward in a loving and merciful way, in a forgiving way, and keeping in mind that it's not for us to judge, right? That's up to Source. And we're going to get help from Source if we ask for it. I can't wait to hear the message, the anti-revenge message on all the people creating the content for me to talk about on STARCARD podcast. But I would first like to get my deck together here. One moment, please. See? Throwing tarot cards, it's almost as much fun as playing 52 card pickup. Here we go. Anti-revenge message. Thank you, Tarot World. Thank you in advance. I know it's going to be a good one. I got enough light here? Oh, yeah. Sweet. Here we go. All right. First up, the Eight of Pentacles talks about mastering a skill, working hard, take a long time, diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship. Diligence, high standards. We need to demand that all this knowledge, come forward. One way to do that is just to talk to our friends about it. If we all agree that Santa Claus is really our parents, the governor can't tell us differently if we've already figured it out. All right. Yay. Temperance talks about balance. We're going to have to work hard at being cool. Okay. Cool out, Breakaway Ray. It's the anti-revenge show. You need to work hard at being cool, being merciful,
and showing forgiveness while still not forgetting. Look at the angel. The angel has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. Okay, we're not going to forget, but we are going to forgive. So this way we can balance things out. All right, I'm with you, Tarot World. Okay, and then if we do that, we'll be like the Page of Wands and we'll have limitless potential. But if we're still holding grudges, we're still holding prejudices, obviously we're not going to see so far out, are we? So we can have the Star Trek future right now if we start forgiving the people that did all these things to conceal it from us. We can see farther the more we forgive. I'm down with that. How many times have you heard that message before where they say, the more you let go, the more fresh stuff could come in? Anyway, let's move on. All right, I feel good already, because the revenge message, the message is do not be revengeful. Be balanced. Show temperance. And then, if we're all cool and mellow, the part of the world that's hiding it from us is going to fall down, says the Tower card. And I would like to remind everyone about another great 20th century peacemaker, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, he had a lot of people on his side, and all they were doing was thinking about peace in a peaceful way, and it caused basically the British to return to their homelands. So it is consciousness that's going to win. Again, once we all agree that Santa Claus has been our parents the whole time, that story doesn't hold water anymore. Yay, then we can celebrate. All right, we can be cool, and then we can celebrate later. Because our consciousness together as a group, our awareness of what's going on, that's what's going to be leading us to victory. I think the message is pretty clear already, but we still have 2 cards to go. Oh, the Ace of Swords. And I think I pulled that inverted. Yeah. What is going on with the Ace of Swords? Reversed Ace of Swords, confusion, brutality, chaos, inner clarity, rethinking an idea, clouded judgment. Yeah, rethinking an idea, things that were hidden for real, okay? Wow, it'll be, the Nine of Cups says, a wish come true. All that stuff that we're hoping for, all those pumpkins I had a problem with, the more we talk about them, the more they're going to break down and break away, and the more we'll have a wish come true. And I don't see any kind of revenge anywhere. What's the revenge? That we get what's coming to us? That we advance into a spiritually more advanced world?
Thanks, Tarot World. That was awesome. No revenge today. Today, it's the anti-revenge show. Make sure you all go out and get no revenge today. All right.